Hi everyone, Nick Thompson here from NEC. Thanks again for joining me on the SV9100 sales training course. This section we're covering InUC, and InUC is available on the SV9100 and the SL2100. So we'll take a look at what NEC is all about. We'll have a quick overview demonstration. I'll cover configuration and pricing, and I'll show you where you can find some very useful information. Okay, so what is InUC? Well, InUC is another fantastic built-in application in-app developed by NEC. So it sits on the processor of the telephone system, and there's absolutely no need for any external servers or PC or for any software to be downloaded. InUC is a unified communications application that is accessed through the customer's own web browser, and it will work within a thin or fat client environment. They simply access InUC through their internet browser, fully supported on Chrome. Other browsers can also be used. InUC can even be used on an Android tablet or mobile device using Chrome for Android OS. So InUC is full of some great features, but before we look at those features, there's actually three different versions or three options of InUC that you can choose from. So let's take a look at that now. So InUC comes in three options, or three licenses should I say. You'll obviously need the InUC client license, and that's going to give you features such as instant messaging, web video conferencing, presence, etc., but it will not give you any voice capability. You simply just add the license that you need. So if you have a telephone, a desktop telephone, then you will need the call control license, or if you prefer or you want a Softphone, then you can choose the Softphone license, and the Softphone is unique to InUC. The Softphone license is obviously perfect if you're a home worker working without a physical telephone, or you're just working remotely connected to the office network. It's actually possible to have both licenses because on login you have the option to choose which device you want to use. So now you understand the three options or three licenses, let's look at some features of InUC. Okay, so some InUC features before we look at the live demonstration. You can see it working. You get instant messaging or chat, and that can be obviously on a one-to-one basis, or you can send out a group chat message. We can use multicast mail as well. So within the contact details or fields of your contacts, you can have an email address. So you can actually use this client to send an email. You get presence up there, of which you get 9 predefined presence statuses, and you can also have 5 of your own personal ones as well. And we get extension status, or what we call BLF. So you can see here if someone's on the phone or if they're off the phone by the colour of the handset. Web video conferencing is embedded into InUC. So although it's sold as a separate product, if you're using InUC, you can actually set up a video call to internal or external people through the InUC app. And of course, you've got things like speed dials, buddy lists, and a great search field as well. Okay, so let's jump across onto my PC and I'll give you a quick demonstration of InUC. Okay, so like all our in-apps, you access them through a browser. So I'm going to open up my Chrome browser, and you can see along the top there, I've got all my in-apps, and there's InUC. So I'll log into InUC, and it'll take me to my login page. And you can see here my ID, my password. My ID can be my extension number, or it can be my name. And if you remember earlier when we looked at the three options, here I can choose what to log into. So if I'm licensed, I can log into my desk phone or my browser phone. Now I'm working remotely as it happens, so I'm going to log into my browser phone. Press login, and that will take me to the main page. And there you go. So here in InUC, you can see a list of all my contacts. Now this is my demo system, so admittedly there'll probably be far more contacts if it's a real working site. But you can see all my contacts there, and at the moment they're sorted or filtered by name. I can choose my favourites list as well. I can also look by division, because within each of these contacts we can add all sorts of information, email addresses, what department they're in, and so forth. So if I click by division, you can now see that my contact list is filtered by admin, executive management, finance, sales, all the different departments. You can even sort this by status, and that would take people's present status, which is up here. We'll look at that in a second. So if we go to status, I can now see people that are in the office or home working, for example. Okay, so clearly from my contact list, I can call, I can instant message them, and we'll look at that in a second as well. But if it's a large organisation and I can't see the person that I want, then obviously I can type into the search field. I can type an extension number, I can type an email address, I can type a name, of course. So if I look for Mark, and it's found Mark there. And you can see just by looking at Mark, I can give Mark a call, or I can send Mark an instant message. Now, if I want to give Mark a call, and he's also an InUC user, it gives me the option to video call him as well. So if I click on Mark, you can see here his extension number, his name. I can give Mark a call, and we can video call each other. Okay, so going back to the main screen again, we talked about presence, and here's my presence status. You can see that I'm home working. So if I drop down the box there, you can choose a number of different presence status, and I can also have up to 5 personal ones that I've made myself. Okay, so to see other people's presence status, you can simply hover over them, and you can see there that Mark is home working. And if I hover over Mike, it will say that he's on vacation. They've also added some notes there, and again, if you hover over that, it says on holiday, back on Monday. So presence is a very useful feature. Okay, so let's look at some other features that you can do within InUC. There's a menu bar here. If you click on there, you can see the contact list. So the contact list consists of everything within your contacts, and you can obviously add and remove. You can also update who your buddies are, your buddy list from here. So if you click on buddy, and then you can go down there, and you can see that I can select different people for my buddy lists. Press OK. Yes, there's been some changes, and we OK that. Okay, back to the menu bar again. You can do exactly the same for speed dials. In fact, within speed dials is really good. This is a system speed dial list. Again, you can go in and edit. You can call them from here as well. And the really nice feature is if people have added speed dials to the list recently, you can press the update key, and that will update your speed dial list. Okay, again within the menu section, we can set a multiple web conference up. You can actually go to in scheduler within here, and that can schedule a web conference or an audio conference. And then we've got multicast message, or group IM as I call it. So you can go on there. Again, we can go down and we can choose who we want to instant message and send a group message to, like that. And we press OK. There's those participants. We can carry on adding as well, and you can type your message in there and obviously press send. In the top left hand corner, we have a dial feature. So again, you hit dial and you can type a number into there, or an external number. So if you click the trunk access, it will put the 9 in for you, or you can search for a name. On James, and you can see James, and then we can obviously click or video call James. The service access area is really good. This is where you can set your call forwards. So we can set call forwards for all calls, both ring, so we can have my InUC client ringing and perhaps my mobile. So you just select that and you put the mobile number into there. We can forward calls to busy, busy no answer, or no answer. The same applies for do not disturb as well. So we can set do not disturb for all, for just external calls, internal, or even calls that are being transferred. The next tab along is actually Web Pro. So this is a great feature, but you do need admin rights. So if you have admin rights, you'll be able to get into Web Pro from here and make changes to the system settings. The settings button there is simply for me to change my media devices, so I can choose my microphone and what webcam I'm using. Okay, so let's see what call control features we have. Okay, so here's an incoming call. So I answer the call, and you can see the call control features that we have along here. So I can put the call on hold, I can get the call back, I can transfer the call to another destination, so I can type a number in there, or I can search for a name. There you go, and I can transfer the call to James. I can hang up on the call, and I've also got a dial pad as well, because I may be on an external call to an auto attendant where I need to press 1, press 2, press 3, for example. And if the call that I'm on is actually another InUC user, then I can flip that call to a video call, and it'll open up another box, and you can see there, and I can share my video and microphone, for example. Okay, so that was a quick demonstration of InUC. One last thing that I forgot to mention is if you have any missed call alerts, then the little bell icon here will light up. You can click on that and you can see not only phone calls that you've missed, but also instant messages or any video calls. So let's jump back to the presentation now. Okay, so pricing InUC is very simple using ProFEX CPQ. Just select InUC, enter the number of users in there, how many users want to use the telephone or handset, so call control users, and how many want to be Softphone users. It may also be worth checking that you have enough video conference licenses. You get 4 free with the system, but you may want to increase that. Also, when you enter InUC, we automatically put in the voice over IP encryption license that's needed for the InUC application. SL2100 is exactly the same. It's in a slightly different location, but in onboard applications, and again put the total number of users in there, call control licenses, any Softphone users, and again may be worth checking you have enough video conferencing licenses. Once again, when you select InUC, we automatically put in the encryption license that is needed for the application. Okay, so some useful information for you can be found on the NEC website and also on NEC's BusinessNet. If you need anything like user guides or any material like that, again, that can be found on NEC's BusinessNet. Also draw your attention to the end user video that can be found on our YouTube channel. Now this is a really useful tool. You can use this almost like a demonstration. So if a customer wants to know a little bit more about InUC, then you can send them the link to the end user video and it takes them through exactly what InUC is all about. And that just leaves me to say thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's been interesting. Any questions, any suggestions, please do reach out to a member of the NEC team or your NEC distributor. Thank you.